Welcome back, everybody, to another awesome episode of Ready to Play Games. This is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. My name is Boris, and just as kind of a small recap of what was happening in the last episode, we finally met up with the gentleman known as Agrippa. We had a very, very in-depth conversation with him regarding our position towards Alexander. I don't know how we had that conversation with him because he does appear to be missing his bottom jaw, but it looks like we are going to try and reassemble a broken orb and find some sort of a vaccine for Agrippa, and I guess he's going to help us out in defeating Alexander. So he mentioned that we have to go to the Chancery and the Treshel, I think was the other place, in order to find some machine parts. So here we are in the Chancery. I saw a monster down here before I just cut off the video last time. So let's go and see if we can find some machine parts down here while doing a little bit of stealth, which, if you've seen my Call of Duty series, you know is not really my strong suit.
Just a little further.
It's like Orpheus descending into the underworld.
Are you hiding something?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Your intuition is remarkable.
I'm not sure I'm following.
It doesn't matter. It's just a myth after all.
Yes, just a myth. These orbs have been talked about in the past, and I'm sure it's not just a myth. There's probably some sort of truth to it, you know, which I'm sure we will find out later on. Maybe in another Amnesia game, I'm not sure. Again, if I get enough enough love on this one, I will be interested in doing the other ones. As you saw, there was Justine and Machine for Pigs on this trilogy, so I can always go ahead and try that one out as well, as long as there's enough or enough interest in this one. So make sure to hit that like button and make sure to share as well, and maybe we'll do another one in the future.
12th of August, 1839. Banishment ritual is taking longer than expected, and we have to do what is needed. I spend my time helping out the prisoners. Being around these degenerates makes me ill. None of them even tries to face their punishment with any kind of dignity. They taunt me with their lies of innocence and their cowardly pleas of mercy. What can make a man fall so far from the grace of a civilized existence? They are all wicked men, and I remind myself of it constantly. Still, I am thankful for God sending these monsters our way, as they will serve as the instruments of my salvation. I try to study the different tools in the torture chamber and learn how to use them effectively. Last time was messy, and the effect suffered from my inexperience. When the next warding is to be performed, I shall be ready.
Wow, that's kind of a darker side for bucket of tar. That's probably good to have. Yeah, that sounds very narrow-minded of Daniel. Very kind of uncharacteristic of him from the last memories that I remember hearing about. So maybe the orb at that point was having some sort of an effect. You know, the madness seeps from these things, as Agrippa said. So I don't know. Maybe he was becoming corrupted prior to his case of amnesia. So I hear machines down here. Where is it? Oh man, it's so precise. So there's the machine that I need to get to. Slab of fresh meat, a wooden bucket filled with sticky tar. So the sticky tar will probably gum up the machine, and I guess because solid metal and in good shape. So do we need more acid? Is that why we still have the glass jar? Okay. So we'll have to come back here. it seems. Nothing worthwhile in here. Yeah, I do want to thank everybody for who's been checking out our videos, mine and Grayson's, you know, whether it's Call of Duty or Mario Odyssey or Horizon Zero Dawn or even this. Thanks so much for all your support, guys. You know, once again, we can't do this without you. We would have no reason to do this without you. So we really appreciate you guys coming back and constantly checking out, seeing all the new content, and, you know, sticking through us thick and thin until... I don't know, until our channel gets really big, and then you guys can also win some prizes. So just keep an eye out for all that, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. The Shattered Orb. All is lost. I must once again start over. Ever since I recovered the orb first found by Agrabah, I have depended on it for my research. The incident with Wilhelm made me most impetuous. Fearing a paucity of prisoners, I proceeded with the final ritual without proper foresight. There are a lot of P's in here. The orb cracked and split into 6 parts. I have tried everything, but have yet to mend the thing. Unless I can think of a way to piece it together, I will have to find another. There is still life in the pieces, and even if the orb isn't restored, I might be able to salvage some of its power for some other purpose. Centuries have passed in vain, and I begin to wonder if I will ever be able to see my love again. How much longer can I sustain my life? Huh. I want to say there's kind of a noble cause to this, but, you know, clearly there isn't. He's capturing people, torturing them, and, you know, doing all this crazy-ass research on them in order to save his love. Kind of sounds like the backstory to Mr. Freeze from the Batman universe. Okay, so we had a note about the 6 pieces, but is there any of the 6 pieces here? That's kind of a cool suit of armor. Doesn't look like it'd be very good for stealth, though. Genie in the lamp. Give me an orb. I wish for an orb. Yeah, I know. If it was only so easy, eh? Is there anything under here? You would think that the orb would, you know, stand out. I'm kind of hoping it does. Whoa, we were almost out of oil. Gotta keep a closer eye on that. So it looks like this is where one of the rituals took place. That just kind of goes on forever. So I don't think we're gonna find anything here, unless... Can we knock this thing over, maybe? Doesn't look like it, but yeah, this part of the castle definitely is a lot creepier than the others. Even more so than the prison. Wonder how high the ceilings go. Those look like really, really, really high ceilings. All you can see is black. I don't know. I don't trust that at all. The pedestal has a smooth hemispherical depression on the top. Okay, so this is probably how you get into the inner sanctum. This is gonna be a stupid idea, but it didn't do too much. Okay, so this is where we probably need to bring the orb. That's probably the inner sanctum right there. So it's something about the machine parts being in the chancel, but out of all the rooms that we looked at, all we found was the bucket of tar. Okay, I gotta keep an eye on the sanity, because I don't think this is affecting us negatively walking around here. But I could be wrong.
Is this guilt I'm witnessing, Daniel? If so, blame yourself. You started this. You sent me that letter asking for help, and this is how you repay me? How dare you!
This is the machine parts that he's probably referring to.
Get her back!
Is there maybe anything up here? What else do we have? This is probably kind of a stupid idea, but you never know. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. So chances are we're going to have to use the tar on that one. But until we can get into that room, kind of SOL. So let's go back upstairs maybe and take a look at the tertial. Light this place up too. It's random gusts of wind. Alexander is watching. Unlock a way to open this? Yeah, I didn't think so. It's always worth checking, though. Such filthy thought. Good men can safely cheer their departure, as they are nothing but a burden to mankind. They shall not be missed. Good men are. It's just such a twisted ideology, though. Like,
These cells are meant to hold prisoners who are under treatment. The people you send for will end up here. Remember that the confinement itself works as a preamble to the torture, and you should pace yourself. Don't take anyone before they are ready.
Understood.
Sounds from the torture chambers are shuttled in through those pipes in the ceiling. Manage your victims well, and let one prisoner's pain instill terror in his cellmate.
That's so incredibly twisted. So they would torture people and then have these pipes here so that their screams would torture their neighbor. Like, what kind of sick bastard are both Daniel and Alexander? Like, that's just beyond twisted. I kind of want to check these places again now, but I don't want to waste all my fuel. As we all know how hard it is to come across this stuff. I know I checked them before, but you know, sometimes after various sequences and whatnot, it's always kind of worthwhile just to check again. Okay.
Ah, you again. Who, me? I'm Heinous Cornelius Agrippa. I was once quite important to you. Baron Alexander has sustained my soul in this dead heart for years. Who knows how many? Hundreds, I presume.
He's hundreds of years old. So Alexander has just pretty much used the orb to steal this guy's soul, put him in this rotting body.
Alexander is quite impressive in many ways.
What the hell?
By me? I'm the next best thing. Alexander really wanted none other than Johann Breyer. You never heard of Johann Breyer? My God, boy. He's probably the greatest man in history. And you don't know him? Or is it the world has forgotten?
Let's see if we can make some sort of a ladder to see what's up in there. We might be able to use that black tar that we got to gum up these machines.
My pupil. Yes, I do take pride in that. Is it so wrong? I found a Mithraeum once, one which had not been plundered. Do you know Mithraeum? I suppose it doesn't matter. It is an old thing, between the temples and the caverns. The dark walls being the universe, and inside are its followers. Children watching the sky slowly turn. But the followers do have one thing to allow them a real sense of connection and creation. The orbs.
So did we fix the machine then? I think we might have.
Not many orbs are left. They sometimes consume themselves or break, then used by an uninitiated. I was lucky. The orb I found spared my life and returned to where I found it. I know because Alexander took it and brought it to Brandenburg.
That doesn't mean that that's where it belonged. I don't know. Okay, so we got part of some machinery fixed up. Okay, so that one still won't budge. So let's go back upstairs and see if maybe by shifting that gear back into place, we've somehow fixed the machine that is upstairs. I'm not going to use too many of these tinder boxes on this area just because the shadow has had a tendency to blow out all my torches, which means that it's just a kind of a waste of tinder boxes. It's much easier to get downstairs than upstairs. Keep getting caught on the steps. Let's see here. Nothing in there. Just checking corners. Our sanity's starting to drop. I know walking around in this area is probably a bad idea, but... Okay, so this machine's running again. And we already know what's down there, so that one won't budge. Let's try this door over here, since we haven't checked this one yet. Well, there's not much in here. Tinderboxes. Is there anything else worthwhile in here? Is there maybe a lamp spot? Bunch of wood. Okay, he's crying. Oh, there's a another tinderbox. We've got just a drizzle of oil left, which is, I'm guessing, not that much of a problem. So there's really only 2 doors we can go through in here. So we've solved the puzzle in that one over there, which means that...
Daniel, you have gone too far. I have to stop you. I can't let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
What is he gonna send out my way now? Is he gonna send Agrippa after me? No offense, but even for a monster, his body looks a little bit frail. Use the item this way. Use on the top one. Okay, so still no way of getting through there. Unless something bursts out from the box or the door behind it. Which, again, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. As Alexander said, he's gonna stop us.
You again. You got the doors open? Good God. I knew you could do it. Vile was a brave man and dared to proceed where I did not. He unearthed a number of cavern temples and gathered a whole collection of orbs. But unlike every other finder since the fall of the Mithraean faith, he was able to unshackle the horror you and I connected with the orbs. He used them and was able to travel far and wide, beyond the world itself.
Okay, so these orbs seem to have a lot of power. And I can't really blame Alexander for wanting them. Especially for a man who's corrupted by power. I want to explore while I have some... Okay, transept, good. The thick liquid spread across his tongue. He swallowed excessively, consumed every drop. He looked through the window at the widespread forest in the morning sun. When will this end, he thought. That's probably Agrippa and whatever this stuff that Alexander's been feeding him. A massive open floor with pentagrams and stuff on the floor.
How much more, Baron? How much more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me, Lord! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
And just so nonchalantly, just, this one, he's ready. Like he's produce. Or, you know, an animal ready for the slaughter. Alexander's pretty sick, and from what it sounds like in the most recent one of these, so is Daniel. Damn it. Please tell me there's an oil drum or something around here. The kidnapper sat on her knees with her hands tied behind her back. She felt her hands being lifted and her body fall. Her shoulders gave away to the weight of her own body and cracked loudly. The suspended woman cried hysterically as the men contemplated their next step. I'm just envisioning that right now, and it's just terrifying. Is there anything I can take here? Outside of a tinderbox? Yeah, like this. And they tied a weight to her legs as well. A sick bunch of bastards these people are. Oh no. Yep. Sanity's almost gone. Piece of the orb. Okay. So yeah, they would make her stand on that thing, or kneel on that. And they would couple this around her ankles, and then lift her up. See, I'm kind of running into a situation here. So we've got the piece of the orb. But my concern is that we have effectively 0 sanity left and now have to run through the darkness. Which means that our sanity is not going to last much longer. Yeah. Rats and flies. Before we go into another room, let's go to the top of the staircase. See if maybe there's some lantern oil up here, or a memory, or a puzzle that we can quickly solve and get some sanity back, because otherwise we're probably not going to last much longer. This is brightly lit. That is not what the picture of Alexander in the other office looked like. So Alexander's been alive for a long time. From what it sounds like, he's been experimenting on Agrippa for hundreds of years. Some string. Can we get maybe any of these tools to take with us? No. Of course not. That would just been useful. Well, that's good. Tough string made from hemp. How's our sanity doing? Still on the brink of insanity. I'm gonna go check this door over here. Alright, it's pretty dark in there. Okay, but before I go ahead and check that door out, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Just because, yeah, we've experienced quite a bit so far, and yeah, it looks like we got 2 more rooms to explore in here, and hopefully we can find some more ore pieces, or just a way to open that that barred door that we can't get through. Maybe the string and the oil will be it, but can't say for sure. But thanks again, guys, for joining us. We'll also go check out that guy maybe in the next video as well, see if maybe he's got something on him. But yeah, thanks again for joining us, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, you know, whether it's on Facebook, your friends, leave a comment down below. Also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. This way you can keep up to date with all the videos that we're going to be putting out. I've got a new series that I'm going to be doing after this for an old PS2 game called .hack.gu. It's a 4-part series that I just recently picked up from EB Games here in Canada, and I'm looking forward to it just because I do like the .hack series and the story behind all of it, despite the fact that it's a little bit more convoluted than most animes, but that's a story for another time. But thanks again, guys, for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.